Well, happy last week before the break. This week we're going to be learning a new skill and we'll practice it again when we return from the holidays in case it doesn't go in your brain all the way. We're going to be dividing with fractions. So looking here at this model, you can see that I started with a half and I'm going to divide that half into 3 equal pieces. When I do that, a lot of kids will mistakenly say that I have a third, because they're like, well, I divided it into 3 pieces, so it's a third, but I didn't start with 1 whole. I started with a half. So if I want to take a half and divide it into 3 equal pieces, you can see that each of those pieces would be equal to a 6, because it takes 6 of the pieces to make the whole. We're going to teach you this with with the models, like 5th grade style, but also with the middle school method: copy, change, and flip, where basically you copy the first digit, you change the division to multiplication, and you flip the second digit upside down. It's called finding the reciprocal, and then we just multiply across and multiply across. We'll practice this because some of you will find that the standard algorithm is a little bit easier than understanding how to do the pictures. So to review, when we're dividing a fraction, what we're going to do is we're going to copy the first digit, and then we're going to change the division to a multiplication symbol, and finally we are going to flip that second digit upside down. So if I were to make a whole number behave like a fraction, I would put it over 1, and then I could flip it upside down by turning it into a 1/2. And that is the way that you do these things, multiplying across and multiplying across to see that it turns into a 6. I'm going to show you that with the model too, just so you can see how it would look 5th grade style. So if I have a third and I'm dividing it into 2 equal pieces, it would look something like this. I've got a third of a can of cat food. I'm going to divide it up between Fluffy, Fluffy, Dum Dum, and Rosa. How much cat food does Rosa get? Well, she gets one of those little pieces. One of those little pieces is 1/6. And that's how it would look like with our standard 5th grade algorithm. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take a whole number and we're going to divide it by a fraction. So I want you to pretend that you're looking at 2 whole boxes of Lucky Charms, my guilty pleasure. And I want to say that I am going to only eat a 1/4 of a box of Lucky Charms every day. How many days will I get to eat Lucky Charms? Well, first I'm going to take my 2 wholes and I'm going to divide them into 4ths. Now, if each day I'm eating one of those pieces, how many days would I have Lucky Charms? Well, I would have Lucky Charms for 8 days. Now, that might not look that tough, but I'm telling you that most kids in 5th grade are going to think that that answer is totally wrong. Why would they think that? Because when you are little, you assume that division always makes your original number, get smaller. But that is not the case when we're dividing with a fraction or an amount less than 1. So 2 divided by a 4th indeed makes 8 pieces. They're smaller, but there's more of them. And that can be kind of tricky for kids' brains. They will assume that they are doing it wrong. Remember that we can still apply our 6th grade copy, change, flip. I'm going to copy the first digit. I'm going to change the division to multiplication. I'm going to flip the second number upside down. And lo and behold, I get the same answer I got with the model. So just note that it might take a little getting used to this skill, but it's a really fun one. And I think that it's pretty accessible. It's easier than the subtraction. And again, we'll review this when we get back from the break. So never fear if it doesn't sink in all the way. We will get you there. Okay. Have a great last week before the break, guys.